Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Neosynthesis, back with Alex with that spicy deck that I promised I'd get for you guys. What are we playing? What do we even call this?
I'm just playing a punk Kashtira deck, basically. I just didn't like this regular Kashtira deck because it loses to Nib and like a lot of
blowouts,
really popular cards like Book of Moon, like Book of Eclipse, stuff like that. And it's just nice having that surprise factor because like anytime you start an opening play like Special Unicorn, your opponent's instantly gonna think you're on pure cash, and then they play a certain way, and then you like normal summon the punk. It's just it's crazy. So I like this like a lot. But
show us what you're on.
Yeah, so for the punks, we play triple Zayaman,
Makes sense.
Triple Fluxy-Tune, triple Ogre. We just max out on like all the 1-card stars that give you access to Zayaman. Like the Ogre's a little bit weird, but this card is just like a copy of Zayaman in your deck. And when you play like more cards, you definitely want to play 3 of this card too.
Makes sense.
And then for like the punks that are just like kind of like engine requirements, we play 2 Deerno, 1 Shirokuzai, 1 Wagon, and 1
Madam Spider.
Yeah, these cards are all standard. I think the only thing that's like kind of debatable is the 2 Deerno. Some people play 1, but like 2 comes up a lot in the grind game, so I like playing 2. And then like the good cards, this card's insane.
I mean, yeah, E-Telly, no explanation needed.
And then this is kind of like all part of that engine too. And then like the terraforming, which also gets you access to the cash field spell.
Makes sense.
But you can just like search this as an extra interruption off Punk Jam, and then like these cards are just good. The argument for not like playing 2 of this against Cash if they like accidentally bench 1 face down is like, because if you're going second into like a Macrocosmos board, you're not really using your punks most of the time anyway, so you're using like the Cash part of your deck to break their board. And if you break their board and you set up like 1 or 2 interruptions, that's just like enough versus the Cash deck. So even if they do hit your field spell, you just don't go for like the Carp line, and you just go straight into Jam Dragon instead, basically.
Okay.
And then for the cash stuff, we just play 3 the field spell. We just like max out all the starters, all the like really good cards. This card is just like, this card's not as good to start with, but going second, this card is insane. no ultis. But yeah, like these cards are insane to start with. This card's like decent to start with because you get to make Baron and then like go into like your punk play.
Yeah, just the level 3s plus that card. Yeah.
The reason we play 3 of this card mostly is for going second, because this card just like is almost like a 1 card out to any board.
Fender's crazy.
And then for like the obligatory cash stuff, we play like 1 Rise Heart, 1 of the spell that summons, 1 of the spell that reborns. Yeah. And this spell's just also crazy in like a grind game. And then the Big Bang. We only play like 1 of each of these because we don't play just like a cash deck. Like we play less cash monsters, so these cards are like more dead. Like they don't do anything by themselves, so we just play them as like search targets for the combo.
That makes sense.
Also, one thing to know about this card is like versus branded, if they go brand fusion, you can trigger this new chain, banish their Fallen Babas brand fusion, the card they sent face down, so they can't summon Lubellion or Albion versus you.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, and this card's just like for the combo. You just go like Rise Heart, get the Fenrir back, and you go like full cash combo on top of the punk board, which is really good.
Oh yeah.
And then for the non-engine stuff, we play 3 crossout with like the crossout targets. It's just like all the like most popular hit trap right now.
Makes sense.
This card is insane. Like it's really important in like punk deck specifically, because lots of times if people like know where to interrupt you, they'll just hold like Ash Blossom or Imperm for the Carp fusion, and you just like lose if you didn't draw like your cash stuff to make Baron first. So having like 3 more copies of like ways to stop that is really, really good.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then the last card is just 3 Book of Eclipse.
I mean, I feel like everybody's on that.
Yeah, I don't like.
All right, what do you think about it? Is Book of Eclipse a canary in the coal mine? Like, is the format terrible if Book of Eclipse is in every main deck?
I personally don't think Cash is like healthy for the game at all. I think it's like pretty like skillless, because it's just like if you're not playing Kash yourself, you're kind of just in a situation where like, did I draw the board breaker? And if you didn't, you lose. And if you do, you kind of just win.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't like playing the deck either. So I think I don't think this card is like necessarily means the game is unhealthy, but at least like in the context of like the Kashtira.
Yeah, the context of the reason we're using it.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny that card has just went from a no one even thinks about it to now every main deck's got 3.
Yeah, and it's mostly just because of like the destruction protection that Shangri-La has, and the fact that it needs to remain like it's a lingering like effect, so you can't just like dart roll with the board. So it just makes like this card really good.
Yeah. How many cards in the main?
That is 43.
Okay.
Yeah, 43.
Makes sense.
And then we'll go into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we got the punk stuff. We just play one of each of these because even if like Kash, basically like to play around Diablosis, you'd have to play like 2 of each of these. And going second versus the Kash board, if they're making the Macrocosmos, these are just like not very good to go into anyway. So these are like more or less just like baits for Kash to hit. If they hit this card, like they don't really know what they're doing. And then like for like just like the synchros, we play the 1 level 11. This card, this card's crazy. And then we play the 2 level 10s, Chenging and Baron. This card is good against like decks that need to banish, so like Sword Soul and like Kash and stuff. And it comes up sometimes when you open like Unicorn plus a lot of punks, because you can just like use the first Unicorn for Baron and then birth back the other Unicorn to make the Chengying. Yeah, and this card's just like good in general. So.
Makes sense.
And then we play the 1 Omega for the other level 8 Synchro. If they do hit the Jam Dragon, you still want to be able to make a level 8 so that you can go do like the Deer Note line into like level 11 Synchro. So you still play the second level 8.
The high speed riders, gorgeous.
Yeah, and it's just it also recycles
itself and another card. Yeah.
That's really
Omega's,
good.
I mean, Omega's awesome. Is Omega limited?
Yeah, it is because
you can loop. Yeah.
And then Kash stuff.
Yeah.
These cards, like part of the standard.
All right, you gotta ban one of the 3 cards in front of you. Which one?
Oh, ban one of them. They're honestly probably gonna hit this card.
I think they should ban this card.
They should ban this card, but I think this card might catch the stray bullet, unfortunately, just because it's like kind of what enables the Kash deck. Like without this card, the deck doesn't really function as well. But like, I wouldn't want them to hit it, but I feel like that's probably what's going to happen. And then for the other XYZs, just play Felgren, the rank 8 for if you don't go for like the Shirakuzai quick synchro in their turn line, you can make this and make your Shangri-La like immune deck card effects.
It's pretty crazy.
So they just can't like ever get their zones back. And then you play 2 Zeus because obviously the Unicorn Diablosis stuff you want to have 2, so they can't just like take away Zeus the rest of the match. And then one of this, because if you nib your opponent and you draw like heavy Kash stuff, you want to be able to clear your own board and like out a problem card, and then you can like start specialing your Kash stuff basically.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And then side deck, we play 3 Cosmic, 1 Duster for back row removal. There's a lot of control decks in this format with like Trap Trick Structure deck coming out. Labyrinth's really good.
Yeah. And then
Runic as well. Like this card is just like an FCK versus Runic. So we play like a lot of back row stuff. And then we play 3 Dark Hole, the 2 Thrust, triple Evenly. This is more back row removal. This card can search either one of these. This card is really good against Kash, also outs Ibly. And then the 1 pointer for going first, because you basically like the setting powers like you side these 3 and going first, and you can just set a pointer off of Thrust. And then we just side the last 2 Nib because this card
it's broken in certain
really
matchups.
Kash, and they don't really have a way to play around it.
All right, man.
Yeah,
well,
that's pretty much
that was a pretty crazy deck. Alex, great player. Creative deck builder. We'll see how this deck performs this weekend.
Yep.
All right, thanks, man.
See you guys.